You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
And I am Clint. Welcome back, y'all. We here. It's another beautiful day. Masters starts how many days from now, Daniel? Tell the good people.
Just the one
day.
Well,
Masters is happening.
If you count the part 3, you're probably watching it right now as you listen to us.
Right now. The Masters is in the great state of Georgia, which means Locked On Atlanta should be covering it because Atlanta, and I guess, there's some travel distance between it, I understand, but it's well within the region. Locked On Bulldogs is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, and also part of Locked On Atlanta. We're proud to be a part of. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day. We greatly appreciate it. Daniel and I are not gurus or insiders. There's no such thing because if we were, we'd be getting in some sort of Twitter beef with all y'all.
No.
We're not gurus. We're not insiders. We are fans. First and foremost, we love our boy Brooks. Don't even mess with us. We love him. Graham Coffee, how y'all doing? Dogs out west. We're not fans. We're not gurus. We are fans. We're not gurus or insiders. We talk like you do about the Bulldogs. And today, Daniel and I have 3 more names that are X factors for the 2022 season that if they up their game and they make their game incredible, then you know what? The Dogs will have a great, fantastic year. It falls into place beautifully. We expect great things. We've taken out some names like Jalen Carter. Look, he's a damn
not
good
an
dog
X
already.
Factor.
He is the factor. How about that? Is that such a thing? Guys like Nolan Smith, he's already there. He's doing his work. We're talking about guys that if they bring their level up to on with everybody else, with the likes of Nolan Smith, with the likes of Jalen Carter, with the likes of maybe some names we'll talk about today. Daniel's going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 1, and I allow him to par 3 it up, put the ball on the tee.
About to just hole in one this thing. Clint, Tiger's going to play.
He's going. Y'all,
Stop.
ask me if I sprinkled some already, because the answer is yes. He went from 60-1 to 50-1, and I said I want to get it now. So I'm on it.
All right, I'm going to give you the first X factor, and we're going to start there. You mentioned a couple names of some star players. I'm going to go to a position that has some talent on it, and it's the defensive line. And I'm going to take you to, I think, the most important piece, not the best player, not the most talented player, but the most important piece, the biggest X factor on this defensive line, and he goes by the name of Zion Logue. And he, I believe, is maybe one of the most critical pieces of this defense. Because, listen, we've seen some things from Zion Logue, okay? Redshirt sophomore, he's been around town for a little bit, okay? 2 years ago, he played in 5 games, but he played in all 5 of the last 5 games of the season. So this is his redshirt freshman year. Took the first half of the season to kind of get acclimated and then began to come on, and he began to see some snaps. Now, typically in a reserve role, obviously, at the end of the game, obviously. He took that success and he parlayed it into playing in all 15 games last year in the national championship season for the University of Georgia. These are no special teams reps that Zion Logue is getting. These are all reserve defensive line snaps, some of which were not in garbage time, Clint. Okay, so he elevated his game. Do you see where we're going here? He elevated his game to the next progression. Okay, didn't play in a handful of games. He played in all the games. He played not just in the garbage time snaps, but he played in a few meaningful snaps, recorded some TFLs, some QB pressures, some tackles. All that's great. But what we need this year, Clint, because it's a mass exodus on the defensive front. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Jalen Carter is back. End of list. Okay, that's it. That's the list. Because Devontae Wyatt, he gone. Jordan Davis, obviously, he gone. A lot of the big bodies up front. We're going to need Zion Logue, and he is the one who is due. I know we get excited about some of these young defensive linemen, but listen, for every Jalen Carter, there are 2 or 3 Devontae Wyatts. Okay, this is the important thing to remember about defensive linemen in particular. It's very rare that they're going to come in and start right away. So I know we have some defensive linemen that we're all very excited about.
Very excited about.
Some signees that we're very impassioned about. We like to think about them, and maybe they will come in and make an impact. But I don't think any of them are as big of an X factor as Zion Logue, because if he is able to take that next step in the progression, which is solid starter, this is all I need him to be. Clint. I don't need him to be a superstar. I need him to be a solid, competent starter on the defensive front. I think the Georgia defense is going to be poised for great things because, listen, he's going to be in a lot of one-on-one situations this year, okay? Because Nolan Smith is out there. Robert Beal is out there. Jalen Carter is out there. He's going to be the last guy that the offensive line coach is game planning around. And so I need him to elevate his game. And if he does, watch out, Georgia fans, because this defense could be good.
Could be good. Daniel, look, we made a comment. Come back after G-Day, okay?
Don't. Better not.
Come back after G-Day.
Better not and say you did.
We're going to come back after this. I'm going to let you know about my name that I have. Hint, it's on the defense as well. Hint,
okay.
It's a guy who's been in the program a long time. You see a rhythm of what I got going on here. I put
Here
Robert Beal, picked Kenny Mack, got a guy. But first, I want to let you know about Built Bar. Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar on planet Earth. How do I know? Because we've tried them all. Guys, we're not kidding when we've tried them all. They send them to us. We eat them, and we say, can you just send us some more?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
May I have another? They're fantastic. Whether you get some with a little crunch to it, a little crisp, whether you get those that are chewy and ooey and gooey like a warm chocolate chip cookie. That's what they taste like, y'all. And I'm not just saying that. They have amazing fruit flavors. They have amazing chocolate flavors. They have birthday cake, which Daniel is always excited about that birthday cake, guys.
It comes with sprinkles right in the wrapper. It's just, love to see
we're fans of sprinkling.
Like a little party. It's like a little party.
It is like a little party. Head over right now to BuiltBar.com. Put in the promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your entire order. They are high in fiber. They are high in protein, low in sugar, keto approved. They do good on any workout, pre-workout, post-workout, on the meal, go replacements. BuiltBar.com, LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your entire order.
All right, Clint, I jumped in with Zion Logue, first X Factor of the day. And so you are up, and you're taking us back to the defense.
Yep, we're staying on the defense. We're going secondary. Now, this secondary showed out last year in an incredible bout. We were questioning after we saw cornerback after cornerback cycle through the system. We had untested guys. We had a transfer from Clemson come in, get a national championship, elevate his draft stock. We had a guy who hadn't played too much meaningful snaps in the SEC get out on the island over there. We had our another transfer, Tyke Smith, go down with injury. We thought the sky was falling in on us. We had no clue what to do. Lewis Seen solidified things up. This next year, we're coming into a couple of question marks as well. We don't know who's going to start opposite Keeley in the corner and corner opposite him in the secondary. Who knows? Right. Lassiter, Green, I don't know. Tyke Smith back, still dealing with a little bit of an injury.
Is he back?
That's a great Daniel, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that question. I hope he's back. I think he will be back, and I think he'll be a major contributor. We have Christopher Smith, who is head and shoulders alpha dog in that secondary right now. Keely Ringo has the skill. Don't listen to me say alpha dog and think that I'm telling you that he's better than Keely Ringo. He's not, but he leads that club. Okay,
he's different than Keely Ringo. I don't think we need to get into better because he does what he does.
So
as well as Keely Ringo does what Keely Ringo does. Let's say that.
That's exactly right. So I'm looking for a guy to come in, and all of that was made possible. I'm going to harken back to a name last year that not many people gave enough credit. And we were much chagrined because G-Day, He got famous in a hurry and
He
cheated
did.
all the wrong reasons. Dan Jackson got absolutely mauled by Big O on G-Day. And
Just stiff arm, just send
I
shivers down
texted
your spine.
Daniel and I said, "Why do we have this guy out here? Why is he on?" And it turns out Dan played huge role in our championship run. Guys, without
Period.
him playing in the secondary and solidifying a few things up in the deep third and deep half, our defense is not what it was. Okay? So I'm going to go to a guy that I hope to have a second helping of a Dan Jackson on this, and that's William Poole. Daniel, let me just give you a little something. Krister Smith, that's a known commodity. Keely Ringo, known commodity. Dan Jackson, known commodity. Tyke Smith, question mark right now. Health, all that good stuff. Opposite corner, question mark. I don't know what's happening there. Whoever's going to come. But if I told you that we can go ahead and shift around safety and our star position, and we can use a guy like William Poole, who had a show out game when somebody else was in the doghouse with Kirby, and he showed out a little bit when he was put into it late into the season, getting into the run, into the playoff, and on to the national championship. What if I was to tell you that William Poole was to continue that? And now all of a sudden we have two stud guys back in the safety position. And it all of a sudden is the same thing like last year, Daniel, where I don't really care who starts opposite Keeley. I don't care. Lassiter, Green, whatever. Throw out whoever you want, because Poole and Smith are going to have a lockdown with somebody else playing rotational Dan or Tyke with Keeley. If he does that, all of a sudden our secondary starts off better than we could have ever hoped and continues the success of the defense. William Poole is my X factor. He elevates the entire secondary more than somebody else taking bigger steps. I think he is a key cog to our success on what Kirby wants to do, especially with that turnover, like you said, on defensive line, where we can't depend on guys just breaking through like jailbreak blitzes all the time. Daniel, we're going to need to step up.
Yeah, and I think if you go back to our definition, which we gave on yesterday's episode, we probably should have given it today. If you go back to our definition of what we said an X factor was, some of y'all are just screaming into the microphone right now. An X factor is a player that if he were to step up his game, he would have the biggest impact on Georgia's ceiling as a football team. And so you talk about William Poole continues to elevate his game, and that is going to pay significant dividends, as you said, for the Georgia secondary and vis-a-vis for the Georgia football team as a whole. So I love it. I like William Poole. He did come in for Brini last year and play some really meaningful snaps, some really meaningful minutes in the late season, which I heard was significant. A significant time. It's winning time. It's championship time.
So that window, Daniel.
It was that time when we were winning a national championship and Alabama was losing a national championship.
Oh, there it is. That's what it is. But hey, you know what? Daniel? Don't take away the SEC championship from them.
You can't take it away from them. You can never take away the Orange Bowl from the 2021 Alabama Crimson Tide. You can never take it away from them. And you know what? You can never take away the Vanderbilt game from the Florida Gators last year. You can never take that away from them. They got that win. It was nice for the program. All right. We got one more X factor. We're going to come back and give it to you. But first, want to tell you, the people, about the full mustache of auto parts stores. It's rockauto.com. Listen, you don't want to go to one of these big box auto parts stores, because let me tell you why. They have a little back room, and the high school kid working behind the counter, you're going to go up to him, you're going to ask for a certain part for a certain car, and he's going to type into the little computer, and guess what the little computer is going to say? We have this one part, or we don't even have any choices for you. I will have to order one from the warehouse. Now, you could wait for high school Jimmy to order one from the warehouse for you, and then you could drive back to the auto parts store and pick it up. Or You could just right now from your phone log on to rockauto.com, enter the make and model of your car, and find the whole list of parts that is accessible to Jimmy is accessible to you at rockauto.com. Whatever the part you need, whether it is mechanical or cosmetic, whether it's interior or exterior, you want fuzzy dice, you want a new muffler, whatever it is that you want, you get it at rockauto.com. They are your auto parts experts, your online auto parts experts, and they are the place that Clint and I trust anytime we need parts for our car. We were in the fixing up a car game for a minute there, but we are out of that game.
We're not flipping cars anymore.
We're not in that game anymore. We tried it for a minute.
We're part of Locked On Atlanta channel.
We got too many things going on. We got too many irons in the fire. Okay, we don't have time for a Twitter beef right now. We just got too many things. We got too many things going on. Too many things cooking. If you want to get the exact right part for your car, go to rockauto.com and put in Locked On in the "How did you hear about us" section. That lets them know that we sent you. That helps them out. It helps you out. It helps us out because you will get the exact right part that you need at a guaranteed, reliably low price. It's rockauto.com. Every part that your car will ever need.
Daniel, back to you. I gave William Poole. You gave a defensive player as well in Logue. But you hinted yesterday that you're going to go back. I gave Kenny Mack as running back. You said, let's go back to the well. Take us back to the backfield on the X Factor. And I have a sneaking suspicion I know who it is. And let me just tell you right now, if you see me getting in a lather, okay, just
I'm gonna
get used
to it. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't think it is who you think it is, Clint. Because I'm gonna say this right off the jump. Some people are going to be upset because you're going to say to yourself, I thought that they said that these were not the star players on the team. I thought we were excluding the big time talent star players. Everyone expects something from them. But don't mistake what we said. We did not say that an X Factor can't be a very talented player. Mm-hmm. We did not say that an X Factor can't be somebody that has big expectations. Mm-hmm. But an X Factor cannot be someone that has already produced the results that you want to see. And so I say to you, what bigger X Factor is there on this team than Kendal Milton, Clint? Because Kendal Milton, I would argue, is the most important offensive player that Georgia has this year. You have told me on yesterday's episode that the Georgia backfield this year is going to be better than the Georgia backfield last year. Zamir White and James Cook are rolling in their graves right now.
I said it.
But you said that the Georgia backfield. Listen to me. I'm going to do you one better. I don't know that the Georgia backfield is going to be better than they were last year, but I will say this. Georgia needs the Georgia backfield this year to be better than the Georgia backfield was last year. Georgia is going to need the running game. There's a lot of talk about the Brock Bowers and all the tight ends and the receivers and this and that. And are we going to see Todd Monken open up the offense and open up the this and open up the playbook and that's not the way Georgia's going to win this year. We're going to throw the ball plenty. Okay, we threw the ball plenty last year. But Georgia's going to need this backfield to produce at a high clip. And if you're looking anywhere for that production other than Kendal Milton, first and foremost, I don't know what to tell you. You're looking in the wrong spot. Because this is the dude that needs to step up his game. Now, listen, I'm not saying that he's been a disappointment. That's not at all what I'm saying. He's dealt with injuries. And he's been behind some very talented players who've done some pretty good things for the University of Georgia, particularly Zamir White. But it is Kendal Milton's time, and Kendal Milton has all the talent in this world. If he's able to get the carries, and if he's able to produce on the field what we have seen from him in short bursts, then Georgia's offense has the chance to evolve into something much more dynamic than they were last year. And if you're listening to this podcast, surely you know by now that Georgia's offense last year was quite good. Like
one of the best.
By every metric that is out there, Georgia's offense last year was quite good. And Kendal Milton is the number one X factor to determining whether or not Georgia's offense will be even better.
I ask you this. I think skill-wise, talent-wise, there might be one guy that I'm thinking on the offensive. Can you name a better skill position player on the offense?
Brock Bowers.
That's the one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
End of list.
Okay. And then after that, it's
Kendal Milton.
Yes. I completely agree. Now, if I was to add offensive line to that, I'd probably add Broderick into the 2 spot. It'd probably go Brock, Broderick, and then Kendal after that.
Weldon brothers are just screaming at their phones right now that you've not included Stetson Bennett yet.
By the way, Weldon brothers, I saw your tweet, your DM over there, Daniel. We're gonna have to have them back on. They're in a full lather. They're in bucket season right now.
You'd love to see it
because they don't know what to do with winning and doing good. They have no clue what to do with this. It's like
none of us do. None of us. I don't know what to do with my hands.
We don't know. Hey, thanks for coming back. Thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow talking more UGA, all things, and we're going to talk Masters just because we're contractually obligated to speak about the most beautiful sporting event on the history of the planet. So,
you mean the 2021 National Championship game? Because I will speak more about that.
Yeah. We talk about that all the time, Daniel.
I will speak more about that.
Yeah. This has been Locked On Bulldogs here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We will see you guys then.
See ya.